So welcome to the NLP UK Training Podcast. I'm Steve Kay, and back with us again today is JP Jonathan Peach.
Fantastic.
Today, what I'd like to talk to you about is creating your heart's desire, because it appears to me that you're on the way there or actually doing it. So I wondered what you were doing 15 years ago. I know you worked for W.H. Smith's originally as a head of pencils and
head of pen. Yeah, if you talk to my mates at the time, it was pencil manager, making sure they were in the right slot.
Yeah, and the right colour.
The right colour. Yeah.
HB.
That's a really important job, Steve.
Exactly. So
15 years ago, where was I? So that would be I was working. Well, I won't tell you the business, but I was about to experience a very difficult period in my life.
Okay.
I was getting towards. I had 6 months. I had 6 months off work with depression and anxiety.
Okay.
I worked for I couldn't do a lot of other things happening in my life, but actually I had to take six months off.
Yeah.
Not an easy period. We wouldn't want anybody to go through that.
Yeah.
At all. But it did give me, once I'd worked out a few things and things like that, it's like, right, it gave me an opportunity to ask the question, right, okay, what do I want? There's got to be a better way. I didn't want to live like that. I didn't want to be like that.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's like started exploring stuff. I went through what I now lovingly call my shorts and flip-flops stage.
Okay.
And simply, I just lived in shorts and flip-flops.
Wow.
And took the kids to school.
Yeah.
In shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah.
And just kind of, but again, wasn't earning anything at the time. Supported by bank of mum and dad.
Yeah.
In my early 40s.
Yeah.
So any mum and dads out there, it doesn't stop when they leave home. But for me, it's just whatever I did. I worked in retail. That's my career.
So you got a business background.
Yeah, corporate. I worked for most of the big retailers in the UK.
Yeah.
And for me, regardless of what it was, it's all about people.
Yeah.
The pattern is about people. And again, a really good friend of mine who my mum calls him my Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Not that she knows who Obi-Wan Kenobi is, but it's just like he's my mentor, I suppose.
Yeah.
And now a really good friend of mine. Introduced me to somebody who I did my NLP Practitioners course with.
Yeah.
Because I was always interested in it, in the
Yeah.
concept of it, but never did anything about it.
Yeah.
So I went and experienced that. She said on that course, have you ever considered coaching? Because you've got a really great coaching style.
Mm-hmm.
She was a coach. Martin, who my mentor, is a really eminent coach now.
Yeah.
But I then did some training. Okay, let's invest some money. Let's do the training, which I did, and it was brilliant. With the sole purpose, really, of creating a business, which I did through the training. So 2012, 2013.
Okay.
So 12, 13 years ago, I created a business and put it out there. Created a business card and had a business card and everything. But it wasn't what I did. I went back into the world of work.
Okay.
So when I introduced myself to people, and it's just like, yeah, I'm this.
Yeah.
Use job title, insert job title where you want.
And what were you doing? What was the?
I worked for a few agencies who work with retailers.
Okay.
So I was using my retail knowledge, expertise, because I was a retail consultant at one point as well.
Yeah.
So I was using that because a lot of these agencies don't understand how the retail world works. So I was using that. It was great. I had a great piece of advice before I started working for myself. You draw 3 circles. What do you love? What are you good at? What do you love doing? Mm-hmm. What can you charge for?
Yeah.
So I did some retail stuff. I was working in a retail business, but I'd introduced myself as this job title, and I also do this.
Yeah.
Coach.
Yeah.
And at one point, it was like, the expectation was you'd build the coaching business up so it could take over the job. Yeah. Never going to happen. Never. Realization that was never.
Had you stopped loving retail?
No, I still love retail. If anybody says what's JP passionate about, what would he get on his hands?
But were you ready for a change?
Yeah. I think, you'd suddenly realise that actually there's a bit more to this.
Because we get a lot of people who come on the NLP Practitioner, Master Practitioner, who kind of feel a little bit uncertain, a little bit stuck sometimes.
Yeah.
They're ready for something new, but they don't know what it is.
So for me, when I work as a coach with people now, one thing I did, and I think it was invaluable when I did it, was I worked out what my purpose was.
Okay.
Because when you introduce yourself to people, it's this, all right, or what you see Jonathan JP after you work with him and go, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
And you come up with some kind of, I'm a coach, trainer, facilitator, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, even I was bored saying it. And there's thousands of me.
Yeah.
So why would anybody listen to me?
Yeah.
So I did a piece of work on what my purpose was, which was identifying time. And I do this with people now as a coach. It's like those times when you feel great in what you're doing, what were you doing? Tell me a story. I identify it all across the timeline and identify, because in those times, for me, there's a common theme, there's a pattern, and there's common language that you use.
Yeah.
And also the times when you felt rubbish, what were you doing and stuff, because these two things are linked.
Yeah.
So when I suppose, found my purpose.
What was your purpose?
To inspire and energize people to be the most brilliant version of themselves. For me, how I speak about that, and again, it's like some people go, what a load of crap. But actually, some people might connect with me. But actually, I know my role. What really excites me and what gets me out of bed every day is actually, I'm going to whatever. So you asked me to come and do a podcast with you. Does it enable me to do that? Yeah, absolutely. You've got me hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Coach one-to-one, hook, line, and sinker. Go and speak at a conference, hook, line, and sinker. Run a workshop. All these things support my why, but I now know what it is. And again, I think you connect to like-minded people, which I think of why you, me, and Callie connect and connect, because we've got a common purpose. It's not exactly the same. But now I know what that is. But if you'd have asked me 13 years ago when I put my business card in front of you, because I was very proud of it.
Yeah. Helps with the identity.
It helps with identity. But it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
But for me, it was, okay, what is it about why I do this? And now I don't even use them. I don't even do them. You'd have to find them online.
Just going back, you said your purpose was to inspire other people.
Inspire and energize people, because there's a different way.
So before you do that, do you start with yourself first?
Yeah, I don't think you can. It's really interesting as well, because I got probably divorced at the same time, and I have Crohn's disease. So I always think if I wrote an autobiography, it was the 3D divorce, disease, depression.
Right.
But actually, for me, what I realized, and I met Jo, who's now my wife, but I worked out who I was, what my purpose was, and I actually liked myself. And then once you do that, it's suddenly, you can call it woo-woo, whatever, you start seeing things, you see things differently, you're aware of different things. And I think for me, that enables me to see things. But again, I've got to be conscious with me, and then I could be much more useful to the people I work with.
So if the JP now met the JP who was stuck 15, 14, 13 years ago, what advice would you give to the younger JP about being stuck?
What's the stuff that really floats your boat? What is it about your current job that you really floats your boat? And once I can identify that pattern, then you can look, because a lot of people say, I've got to change my job.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. What is it that floats your boat? And if you can identify that and you know what gets you up in the morning, what drives you forward, do more of that, or try and do more of that in your current role.
Yeah.
Or find a role within the current business where you could do more of that. You won't do it all the time, because that's just unrealistic. But again, you're looking at, I think you're creating a lens for you to look through about what's next, maybe. Because the question I would always ask you as coaches, is it moving you towards that?
Yeah.
If it is, great. If it's not, what are you doing it for? Because we'll be in the same situation in 6 months' time. Yeah. You'll get a release of energy from changing a role or whatever, but you'll be back in the same place quite quickly. But where are we going?
Yeah.
It's like direction of travel. We're going in a direction. I'm not setting a goal necessarily, but we're going in the right direction.
I mean, I think we're all in pursuit of our heart's desire. I think we get stuck sometimes and we hang on to things from the past or in the present. And it's normally our ego saying, look, you're okay as you are. It's paying the mortgage, blah, 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 blah. And then we get uncomfortable and we get our wisdom comes through saying, this is not really what you're about. This is what you're really about. You need to have a shift. And for you, that was going on the NLP practitioner.
Yeah, but also
meeting that woman who inspired you.
Yeah. Linda, brilliant.
Yeah.
And Martin as well. I worked for Martin when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I now play golf with him every week, well, most weeks, and we go on holiday. If you'd have told me that 20 years ago when I worked for him, yeah, I'd have told you were nuts.
Mm.
But it just shows you those key people as well. It's like, it's interesting because, but it just shows you a different way, different lens to look through, things like that. And as you collect that experience, because I remember my dad, I was quite a decent tennis player as a kid, and I thought about, I want to be a tennis coach. My dad, I mean, he was using just what he knew as the best. No, you've got to get a proper job.
Mm-hmm. And
again, it's like this. I know what I do now is not a proper job. Yeah. You ask Joe, my wife will tell you. What I do, most people wouldn't consider a job. I love it, absolutely love it. The job, my role, my work is the driving between venues and things like that. But I also quite enjoy that.
So you're a top speaker for the Art of Brilliance group, who are positive psychologists.
Yeah, based on positive psychology,
leadership.
And again, how you're drawn to it. I met Andy. I think the common thing we have is we're drawn to human flourishing. We want people to be that best self. Again, is actually in there, and what we're trying to get is speak to create that awareness where people can do that. And again, that again is that direction, that thing that enables me to go, yeah, are we in the right line? Are we moving people forward? Or again, that's what we're about. You can ask me to do most things if it enables me to kind of create awareness of what that looks like for you.
What advice would you give to somebody who may be listening who says, well, it's all right for you, I don't want to go through everything you went through to give me that shove?
Yeah, I mean, all I say is don't do what I did.
No.
Because one day I resigned.
Yeah.
And then went home and thought, right, now what do I do?
Yeah.
You can imagine the conversation with parents who they got a job in it for life, really.
Yeah.
So you resigning, you've got
so
to go to.
Your advice is look at what you're doing now and what you really enjoy, what floats your boat.
Yeah, the exercise I get people to do, and I share it with your listeners, viewers, is get a piece of paper and down through across the middle of it, draw a line. That's your timeline. On the right-hand side is bang up to date, that's today.
Mm-hmm.
Left-hand side is as far back as you want to go.
Yeah.
Start your career, start your life, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Above the line is the times and opportunities when you feel great.
Yeah.
Best self, whatever. Below the line is the times when you feel crap.
Yeah.
Okay. Just identify specific, and you've got to be specific about it. Things when that's the stuff that I really love. That's when I came alive. That's when I was in this flow state people talk about. Just headline it. Just headline it. Both.
Yeah.
Find somebody you trust then, coach, whatever you want to use, and just talk about those times. Just talk. Your job is just to tell the tale.
Mm.
The coach or your friend thing, Martin did it for me, is just to listen. Because those common themes and patterns will come out and the language you use will be there. And then you can create a purpose statement or whatever you want to do to create it. And the thing is, for me, it's not a corporate slogan, because trust me, the first time I wrote it, I said to create transformational change in people. And it's like, what's a lot of bollocks?
Yeah.
It's about the stuff that gives you goosebumps.
Yeah.
And for me, when I read it, it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And for me, it's almost like that kind of catchphrase. If you don't get it, if you don't give you goosebumps, it's good, but it's not right. It's got to be simple, and it's only got to be you. It's the only person that's got to drive and give goosebumps is you.
Yeah.
And then, but also it's the things that you really love. So in the roles you're doing, it's actually, how do I get involved in this stuff more?
Yeah. I found personally that whenever I made a change, because I worked in manufacturing management, then the service sector, then back in manufacturing, and then did a master's degree, set up on my own, consulting and doing leadership training. But that's changed as well along the road. But when I look back, every time I made a change, that was my wisdom coming through, telling me to do something and stop doing other things.
Well, you will look at it, coaching, one-on-one coaching or group coaching is a very small proportion of what I now do.
Yeah.
But if you'd have told me 15 years ago, you'll be stood in front of people talking.
Hundreds of people,
thousands of people talking, and they'll listen to you.
Yeah.
I'd have told you were nuts.
Yeah. JP, thank you for joining us
Pleasure.
In the studio. So from JP, myself and Callie, it's the end of today's podcast, and we'll see you next time. Remember to subscribe. See you soon.